Okay, now I'm going to show you one of my favorite things that we've been doing for the last year or so, and that is using what I call skins. And skins are, you can use them as edges or borders or just effects on top of an image. I'll show you what they are, but first I'll show you how we grab them. And again, it's just basically extracting them from an image. So here's vGallery Overlay 8 again, one of my favorite overlays, one of my favorite things that we use for effects. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at anything that's a certain color, in this case this black or this dark gray. And I can go into select and color range, and if I touch this black or dark gray, you can see it shows up over here in my preview box, and I can control how much of it is selected by my fuzziness here. So I'll go to about right there. I'll hit OK. It gets selected, and then on its own layer I create a new layer and fill it with black by holding down Alt or Option and hitting delete, deselecting it with Command or Control D, and I get rid of my my overlay layer there, and you can see it now that that's my skin. At least that's what I call it. I mean, it's an overlay basically, but I call it a skin because it's not the whole entire image. It's generally what we use it for are edges or borders, and it's on its own independent layer, so it's kind of like a pattern too. But basically, if you want to increase the intensity of it, just copy the layer with Command or Control J, and now you have two of the same layer, and you can merge those together with Command or Control E. So now you have one layer of this skin that's even more intense. If you want to create a border that goes all the way around, copy it again, and then you can go up to Edit, Transform, Flip Vertical, and now you have a border all the way around. Now it's duplicated. It's the same thing duplicated, so you might see some repeating things. If you want to get rid of that, like this spot over here, I just go to my eraser tool and just get rid of it so that you can't see that it's the same thing over. Maybe I'll clean some of this stuff up here in the middle so it's not the same. And maybe I can go down here and get rid of some of this on the other layer too, so it's not the same. But the point is, you can create really cool edges and borders, and I mentioned that in the edges video as well, that you can extract these skins and then duplicate them like this and flip them and create a border all the way around. Another way that we use them is for different graphic things, for graphic design in our ad pieces. I'll go ahead and open up this skin. This is the first one. There's 2 volumes in this set. This is a skin that we extracted, and I'll go ahead and let's open up this image of this family. And you can take the skin and pull it over, drag it on top of the image. Now it's much bigger, so I'm going to hit Command or Control T, Command or Control 0, so that I can see my transformation here on the skin, and I'm going to just make it a lot smaller, bring it in on the image, and hit Enter. Now the skin is on its own layer. I'll go ahead and blow it up again. And this in and of itself is kind of a cool effect on this image. If it's a little too intense, it's on its own layer, so you can drop the opacity of it if you want to, or you can change the layer mode to maybe soft light so that it's not quite as intense. But it's really cool. What you can do is select the skin and actually, well, I'll just go ahead and show you. The very first thing you want to do is click your background, change it to layer 0, and that basically makes it editable, okay? You see the lock disappear. What that means is I can actually put something underneath it. In this case, I'm going to create a new layer and fill it with white by hitting Command or Control Delete because my background color is white. So now I have a white layer underneath my image. I can go to this skin layer and select it by hitting Command or Control and touching the layer. I get that selection. But now I want to cut that out of the image itself. So I select the image and hit Command X. And it cuts it out of the image. So you can see now, if I get rid of the skin, that now this image looks like it's all torn around the edges and it's kind of been just torn up, which is a cool effect. Now I can use this by itself if I want to, or I can open up, let's see, one of the cool things that we do is use these books like I showed earlier. So I'll open up this book, I'll crop this book, maybe just the page out of the book, and then in this case I'll take this image, drag it onto that page, and now I have a really cool background for the image. If I want to, I can crop it so that it's smaller, a little more custom to the image. And now I have this image placed on this book, to this page of this book, to create a really cool textured background. So yet again, just something else that you can do by using the books, and a way that you can use skins to create edges and borders, or using them to create selections that then you can extract from your imagery to make them look distressed or beat up or whatever. Just another effect.